Losing belly fat is no easy task if you are metabolically broken. That means your hormones are working against you instead of for you. I'm going to explain this in much more detail in this video. I'm Nick, owner at Upgraded Health and creator of some of the most popular fat loss programs on the internet, and have the #1 Pinterest page for metabolic diets, carb cycling, and intermittent fasting. And in this video, I'm going to share 10 golden rules for a fat burning body. Millions of people every year fail at losing belly fat, and they blame themselves, their programs, or even other people. If you're struggling with unwanted jelly around the belly, then I've got some amazing news for you today. We all grew up knowing about the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. In other words, if you wanted for other people to treat you well, you would treat them well. Pretty simple, right? Well, as we know, it's not always easy treating others well that have a tendency to get under your skin. We do it, but it's not always easy and straightforward. It requires reflection, taking a step back, and sometimes some guidance. Today, I'm going to offer some guidance that will help improve your health, help you lose weight, and reset your metabolism. The golden rule for your body is do unto your body as you would have it do unto you. In other words, if you want your body to treat you well, feeling and looking good, you should treat it well. Pretty simple, right? Well, I'm about to blow your mind with how to really get a flat belly. It's not all about calories, exercise, or 100% about hormones. You have to stop thinking in terms of calories and start thinking in terms of hormones. In other words, we want to turn on your fat burning hormones and turn off your fat storing hormones. You're going to finally we're going to get simple with today's video. I put together the 10 golden rules for restarting your metabolism, taking control of your health, and to get a flat belly once and for all. Fat burning rule #1, avoid all inflammatory foods. In order to begin the process of reversing metabolic damage, you need to reduce inflammation, and that starts with your diet. Avoid high fructose corn syrup, sugar, wheat gluten, vegetable oils, soy, processed foods. You pretty much know what an inflammatory food is. Inflammation will prevent weight loss. Since you need to have healthy cells in order to activate your fat burning hormones like growth hormone, glucagon, and adrenaline, avoiding inflammatory foods will reduce your risk of insulin resistance. Fat storage around your waistline is a classic sign of insulin resistance. Here's typically how insulin works. You eat food, then your blood glucose levels rise, which sends a message to your pancreas to start pumping out insulin. Insulin is then able to signal your cells to open up and receive the glucose or sugar that's floating around in your bloodstream. Insulin regulates how much glucose gets allocated where in the body, like your fat cells, your muscle cells, or your liver. Depending on how insulin sensitive you are, the glycemic index of foods you eat, your lean muscle mass, and several other factors determine how likely your body is to store that extra energy around your waistline. The bottom line, replace inflammatory foods with anti-inflammatory substitutes to reduce your overall risk of insulin resistance, and if you have insulin resistance, it will help start reducing that. In all of my programs, I make sure to address insulin issues first because that is the most important hormone to get right off the bat, and it's going to be the one that you balance will help you achieve a quick win, fast weight loss, and kind of get the slate clean. Fat burning rule #2, you want to reduce or get rid of digestive disruptors. Anytime you eat or drink something that your body doesn't recognize, can't digest properly, causes inflammation, or you're allergic to, you negatively impact your ability to assimilate nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. And all this is no good when you're trying to lose weight. This leads to a vicious cycle of inflammation, nutrition imbalances, and ultimately, you guessed it, weight gain. Substances like phytates, oxalates, lectins, tannins, and trypsin inhibitors are all things that you want to look out for when you're trying to reduce your digestive burden. If you spent any time at all in your life consuming low-quality foods with preservatives, artificial ingredients, fast food, and other processed foods, then you definitely need to take some time to reduce the inflammation that's happening in your body, specifically your gut, your digestive system. Cutting calories or going on a cleanse is all fine and dandy, but most people end up gaining all the weight that they lose because it's not sustainable. The best way to clean your digestive system is to avoid low-quality foods in the long term. Don't worry, it's not all about restriction. I'll talk more about this on rule #7. The bottom line with this one is An inflamed gut will not only cause bloating, gas, IBS, constipation, it won't help you, and it'll make it very difficult for you to lose that stubborn belly fat to get a flat belly. But don't worry, because if you follow all of these rules, you'll just naturally reduce your gut inflammation. Fat burning rule number 3, become a smart consumer. It's important to know the hierarchy of healthy foods in every category. You should learn how to read nutrition labels and understand that just because something is low in sugar, low in fat, low in calorie, doesn't automatically mean it's healthy. Every food has a best, good, and bad rating. There's a couple of variables here, but I've simplified it into 3 categories. For example, you know that organic grass-fed beef, if we're talking about beef, is best, organic is good, and conventionally fed beef is bad. Gluten-free bread is the best when we're talking about bread, sprouted bread is good, and then whole wheat or white bread is bad. So that's kind of a simplified version. You could do eggs, you want pasture raised, and then if you can't find that, go organic cage-free, and then if you have to, of course, you just eat that normal white egg. So you get the idea here. Learn about each category to understand the consequences of eating too many bad foods and not enough best foods. When you start a healthy lifestyle, you need to be an educated dieter. So you know what to order at restaurants, what to buy at the grocery store, so you know all about those hidden ingredients. You can read nutrition labels. And of course, like what to do in social pressure situations. We all have that friend, that coworker that puts us in those situations. You need to be ready for what you're going to order or what you're going to say if you're not going to order something. The good news is, if you follow a carb cycling metabolic type diet, you don't have to give up all of those bad foods because you're going to follow a certain principle that I'll talk about later in this video. Bottom line with this one, healthy hormones and a flat stomach starts with what's on your plate and at the end of your fork. It's okay if you don't always eat whole foods. However, educate yourself on ingredients and nutrition facts. Fat burning rule number 4, reduce stress by using these techniques. Stress is a silent metabolism killer. And if you're not careful, it can completely stop your ability to lose weight. Your stress hormone cortisol breaks down your own precious muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is what I like to call metabolically active tissue. That's a tissue that is helping burn all of the excess fat once you start doing those healthy habits that are releasing the extra fat. You need that lean muscle tissue. Excess cortisol breaks that down, reducing your metabolic rate, resulting in, you guessed it, more stored belly fat. The research has clearly showed that stress can add to your belly fat problem in several different ways. Your stress hormone, cortisol, can hurt you in a lot of ways. It can break down your valuable lean muscle tissue, which I just want to reiterate that, and use it for energy. This process is called gluconeogenesis. It can directly cause increased fat storage, and it can decrease certain fat storing hormones that you really need. Fat burning hormones that you really need, sorry. You can manage your stress, so you can try to by using the following techniques, but try whatever works for you. Technique number 1 is to practice diaphragmatic breathing. Most of us are shallow breathers, meaning we breathe with our mouth instead of our nose. This leads to lowered oxygen levels, poor posture, neck pain, and a slower metabolic rate. A recipe for making it more difficult to get a flat belly. Try taking 5 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth throughout the day. I like to set a timer because even I need reminding. Technique number 2, this one's an easy one, exercise. Exercise is a natural antidepressant since it releases specific hormones to put you in a better mood. Just be sure to do the right kinds of low stress exercises to minimize the negative consequences. My favorite type of exercise for me is what I call metabolic resistance training. I have probably about 100 videos in my page. Just search for metabolic workout. I have a few of the top spots for that search term. You want to try to do 3 to 4 metabolic exercise sessions per week for optimal results. And of course, walk, do yoga, stretch, all that type of stuff. And finally, technique number 3, meditate or pray or do something similar to that. Meditation has been shown in countless studies to reduce stress, stress hormones, and improve your overall mood. You don't have to be a Tibetan monk to meditate. Learn to sit in silence and relax for just 10 minutes a day. It will eventually become easy for you. A successful dieter understands that losing weight and achieving balanced hormones is more than just eating the right foods in the right portions. Bottom line, learn to identify your stressors, then find solutions to manage, control, or eliminate these stressors from your life. Stress can ruin any hopes of a flat belly. Fat burning rule number 5, use metabolic reconditioning training 3 or 4 days a week to burn fat and build muscle. I talked a little bit about this one just a while ago. Exercise will do more than help you lose unwanted weight. It will positively affect your energy, endurance, conditioning, and stamina. It boosts your brain's level of serotonin, which is your happy hormone. The true power of exercise, specifically metabolic exercise, lies in its hormonal power. When you exercise, you lower your insulin levels, increase your glucagon levels, and boost your growth hormone. All good things. Remember, glucagon and growth hormone are fat-burning hormones that help you control insulin and cortisol levels. And the best form of exercise to boost your growth hormone and glucagon levels is metabolic resistance or reconditioning training. When you start doing metabolic workouts, you'll accomplish two big things: a low stress consequence, which optimizes the fat burning hormones and keeps your stress hormones low, and my favorite thing, the afterburn effect, which essentially keeps you burning calories for up to 48 hours after an intense metabolic exercise session, which is why you only need to do 3 or 4 of these per week, because the day after you do it, 24 to 48 hours, your body is still acting like you're currently exercising. It's pretty awesome. Golden rule number 6, have a protein shake backup plan. I've always been 100% whole food and real food promoter, but the reality is it's almost impossible to eat a completely whole food diet. So the next best thing is to find the highest quality protein replacement to supplement your real proteins. Most people don't eat nearly enough protein, especially vegetarians. I'm not saying being a vegetarian is necessarily bad. I'm just saying most of them need to find different ways to eat more protein. Protein helps burn fat by building lean muscle, keeping you full, and balancing your hormones. I recommend everyone find a high quality protein powder to make smoothies, shakes, and add into like the higher carb and lower protein meals that you sometimes eat. Protein also helps, super important, to manage insulin. Insulin can be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to fat loss. You've got to make it a priority to regulate insulin. I've said this multiple times in this video. Try to eat lower glycemic foods as a general rule, and combine high glycemic index foods with protein and fat to minimize that insulin blood sugar burst. The secret is you have to know when to eat your sweet and starchy stuff, not forget about them altogether. So you don't have to eliminate them, you don't have to restrict them all the time. Time your meals with your exercise, ideally, to get the benefits of insulin, which is why I really like carb cycling, because if you follow a carb cycling program, then on heavy workout days, you're going to end up eating higher carbs. So if you know you're going to eat out at some point one day, you want to try to do the intense workout session either a day before or that same day. Bottom line with this one, not all supplements are good for you. In fact, most are not that great for you. One of the supplements you need to succeed in getting a flat belly is a high quality protein powder, and of course, delicious protein shakes and smoothies. My personal favorites as far as protein is a collagen-based protein or organic whey. For vegetarians, you want to do a hemp or pea base. Try to avoid soy and avoid the conventional wheys and the casein, as those can be inflammatory. Golden rule number 7, live by the 85-15 rule. You may have heard of a principle known as the 80-20 principle, or the Pareto principle, that states for many things, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. It's a pretty great way to run a business, which is where the principle originated, and I've tweaked it for your journey to get a flat belly. 85% of the time, live the healthiest version of yourself, and the other 15% of the time, be flexible. If you eat healthy, exercise, sleep well, stay relatively stress-free, and form healthy habits 85% of the time, the 15% of drinking alcohol, eating out, eating ice cream, or whatever it means, whatever unhealthy means for you, won't negatively impact your results. For example, in my house, we're 100% gluten-free, natural organic meats, fruits and vegetables, and we balance our meals. At night, my wife and I like to have wine or a martini. On the weekends, we like to go to brunch and maybe have a donut or eat In-N-Out randomly. The key is balance. The bottom line, you can still get a flat belly and you'll actually have fun doing it. The best diets are ones that are sustainable, flexible, and enjoyable. You should be able to live by the 85-15 rule for the rest of your life. It's extremely important for you to find a program and way of living that you can maintain for the rest of your life. Sure, sometimes you need to detox and get back on track, but if you follow the 85-15 rule, getting back on track won't be nearly as difficult as it usually is for you. Fat burning rule number 8, get rid of as many toxins as you can. Whether we realize it or not, we are bombarded with toxins. Our liver, kidneys, and digestive system are our body's natural cleansing team, working together to remove toxins from our body. These organs become unable to function at optimal levels because of the poor nutrition, stress, toxin overload, lack of exercise, and just toxic overall lifestyle habits. There are several ways toxins make you fat and unhealthy. They slow down your metabolism, they lower your fat burning potential, they decrease the signals from your stomach to your brain, which is super important, and they overload your liver, which is probably the worst one. Your body stores a majority of toxins in fat cells, since it's safer to store toxins in your fat cells than in your bloodstream, where your liver can detoxify and deactivate them. The more body fat you have, the more toxins you store, which is why the first step to lose fat and or weight is to detoxify the body. The bottom line with this one, to effortlessly get a flat belly, your detoxification pathways must be optimized to reduce inflammation, remove toxins, and to balance your hormones. You can do this by following all of these fat burning rules. Fat burning rule number 9, learn how to make metabolically balanced meals. Some say a happy life is all about balance. You have to balance work, family, health, and everything in between. Well, this goes for having a happy fat burning metabolism too. You have to balance your carbs, fats, and proteins. This is much easier than life balancing, is what I call macro balancing. Balancing your macronutrients helps stabilize insulin. There's insulin again. Increase growth hormone. Women, you need to increase your growth hormone. It's not testosterone, it is a fat burning hormone. And helps control your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Optimizing these 4 hormones makes losing fat from your midsection a piece of gluten-free cake. Macronutrient ratios can get pretty complicated, and complicated formulas can lead to paralysis by analysis, which leads to no action, which always leads to no weight loss results. I like to simplify everything in life, so when it comes to the perfect ratios and macros, my goal is 60% to 70% fat, 20 to 30% protein, and 10 to 20% carbohydrate. You'll be regulating your hormones, balancing your blood sugar, insulin levels, and boosting your metabolism so it's working for you all day long. Bottom line with this one, balancing your meals is a very important concept in healthy eating and is often ignored since it's hard enough eating healthy. But if you can eat healthy and balance your ratios at least 85% of the time, you're going to propel your weight loss results and make it effortless. The last rule, number 10, make sure you're eating enough food. Most women are trying to eat less food to lose weight and get a flat belly. Unfortunately, look around you. Bellies are growing and calories are shrinking. Something is obviously not working. The biggest problem I see is that women are undereating. Undereating leads to hormone disasters, even weight gain, especially weight gain, lean muscle mass loss, which as we know, that's metabolically active tissue, and then it overall slowed metabolic rate, and worse, belly fat gain that gets really stubborn, which is ironic since you would think that eating less would lead to losing more, but it's actually the other way around in many cases. This isn't going to be one specific diet or mindset, although I believe health mindsets are very important. This is actually something very practical. The bottom line with this one, eat high quality foods and create metabolic, healthy fat loss meals that deliver a nutritional punch to your body that heals your metabolism, balances blood sugar, and regulates hormones. You can tell that I've repeated certain themes during this video. Focus on balancing your blood sugar, insulin, which helps regulate your hormones, protect your metabolically active tissue, avoid inflammatory foods, eat anti-inflammatory foods, try to live a somewhat 85%, 15% balanced life. I'm not telling you to eliminate macronutrients. I'm not telling you that you need to exercise more. I'm trying to help you form a long-term strategy for achieving health-focused fat loss. I always say a lot of people try to lose weight to get healthy. I like to do it the other way around. I like to focus on health to lose weight. Get healthy to lose weight is one of my favorite mantras. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you learned one thing that can help you on your weight loss journey. Even if you disagreed with 90% of the things that I said, maybe 10% resonated with you and can help you in some form or fashion. I have many programs if you're interested in checking those out. You can find the links in the description. If you want to just kind of get a sneak peek that's free, I have a 24-hour metabolism reset guide that you can download by clicking the first link. And I also have 4 weeks of healthy fat loss meal plans that I can send you, which will help you with 2 of the fat burning rules here. Balance your, actually it'll help you with almost 5. but more importantly, teach you how to balance those meals and form metabolically happy, healthy fat loss meals. I'll stop rambling now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button. Talk to you later.